Hi, Famalam. How are we? Shalom, namaste, assalamu alaikum, blessings and gratitude. Sending lots of love, as always, out into the universe. I hope everyone's having a good Saturday. Oh, hold on, Sunday now, actually. My time, whatever you are. So, just wanting to go on from yesterday about trolls and sort of online hate, really, and the blackout and stuff. I was thinking about it. So the way I dealt with it is, which I'll tell you in a sec. The other important point here is we all know now we're all digital witnesses. We've all got phones. We can all record stuff to help the fam. So, dealing with online bullies. Here we go. So what I did was, after the frenemy started commenting shit on my, going back through videos and commenting shit. So what these people don't understand, and this can apply to anyone, okay? If you're getting hate, whether that's discrimination on the base of race, sex, sexual orientation, religion, or ability, yeah, those are all hate crimes. Yeah. And can be considered harassment. So what I did was I simply replied, because once I'd blocked them on YouTube, I then started getting a barrage of emails, which I told you about. So what I simply replied was, "Dear troll, please cease and desist, or I will be compelled to apply for a harassment or restraining order. Thank you for providing written evidence of your discrimination." This is what you could use. I didn't use the word discrimination. But this is what you could say. So if somebody's constantly hating on you because of any of those because of those things, which are hate crimes and can be considered harassment, you can say the same thing. Either just delete and block them, or go back with this and say, "Thank you for providing me of written evidence of your discrimination on the basis of one of the five, or whatever it is. This is considered both harassment and a hate crime, and I can use this to as digital written evidence in front of a digital witness or audience of witnesses, and can use it as a case against you." Wish you could. Yeah, that'll shut them up. And if it doesn't, and they reply again with more hate, then you go, "Thank you again for providing yet more written evidence of your hate crime or discrimination or misogyny or whatever it is. Thank you. Thank you for your written evidence. Thank you." And you can't delete it, because anything that's, once it's written, as much as they may try and delete it, it's done. It's there. It can always be recovered. Yeah. That'll shut some people up. And anyone that's, there's a difference. See, I've seen some things where people are like, oh no, but it's free speech. No, it ain't free speech, mate. That's just pure hate. And there's a lot of it. So we need to shut them up. Yeah. Because if it's a hate crime and it's harassment, then they need to know that they're providing you with the evidence, their own written evidence, by their comments and their trolling. That is all written evidence. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for providing me with evidence that I can use against you for your hate crime. Thank you. Yeah. It's just, you know, if someone's hating on you for anything, first and foremost, it is not you. Don't let it affect you. Yeah, it's nonsense coming out of someone else's nonsense mouth who doesn't know you, and it's just pure nonsense, first and foremost. But then you can sit back in the knowledge that they're constantly providing you with written evidence that you could use against them, should you want to go that far. So you just shot them with that. Thank you for the evidence. Thank you for the written evidence you provided me on this digital platform that can never be deleted. Thank you for providing it in a digital environment in front of digital witnesses that could also be used. Thank you for proving your hatred based on whatever it is. Thank you. I'll keep a catalogue of this. Should you continue, I will use this as on my case against you for harassment or discrimination or whatever you want to, restraining order. Yeah, they ain't got no power of you. Ain't got no power of this. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is power, fam. So yeah, so that was that. So that should shut people up who are hating just for hating's sake. I've also found this awesome barrister. He's called black belt barrister. He's gone and given out free legal advice. A lawyer, a barrister, giving out free legal advice. Amazing. Have we turned someone? I think we've turned someone onto our side. So big up all the lawyers giving out free legal advice to the fama lamb. And this goes on to what I was saying yesterday. It's absurd that, and I've said it many times before, but it is absurd that we live by a set of rules that are written in a language that not everyone understands, and you have to get a degree to understand. And you think about it, no, you know, unless you actively go out and sort of, I don't, in fact, I don't, you know, I know because I studied it, but if you think about it, you only know the law if you've been stopped for anything, or arrested for anything, or maybe to do with business, but you only ever learn it as you sort of come across it, and so you only really know a teeny weeny tiny bit of the law. When really, if we're supposed to adhere to a set of rules, then we should know, shouldn't we? We should all exactly know, because the not knowing means that people can take advantage of you and you'd never know. And that could be in a public scenario, that could be in a business scenario, and also even from the police themselves. So not knowing is actually dangerous, and it means you're susceptible to being manipulated and used. Or they could say anything to you, and not knowing it means that you just go, okay. And I've got loads of, I was thinking about this, and then needless to say, the universe provided me with all of the evidence that I need. And I've got loads of videos. I'll put links in, and this exact thing's come up. Loads of places. I love people all over the place auditing police. And the thing is, I do like police. They do a hard job, but right about now, something's up. Because I don't know why, but something is definitely up. Because they want to use the digital evidence we provide on our phones when we video a crime, which helps them get crimes, which helps their numbers. But they don't like being videoed themselves or being pulled up for their wrong, doing, as it were. They get very defensive, very, very defensive about being videoed. And I've seen some from America and the UK of people just videoing outside police stations just to see what they would do. And every single instance, the police are going cray-cray at people just for videoing. And then it's just making them look, cray-cray. And there's a lot of instances where they don't even know the law. Because obviously the people that are doing these videos do. They do know the law. And so they're able to pull them up on, so they're pulling them up on what they're supposed to be upholding. So that's quite interesting. I'm going to put a load of videos in for that. Another thing was, and I did a video on this ages ago, but what I don't understand is, how can the world, I'm going to say this, how can all the governments, who have been planning for a pandemic, in at least in terms of what they themselves have said, for 10 years, if not more. So they've had planning meetings for potential future pandemics, and have had many a meeting and many a discussion and many a planning and many a document written and many a, this is what we will do in this instance if there is a pandemic. They've even had films about it way back when. So then, how can everywhere have been so woefully ill prepared with all of that planning? Just doesn't make any sense. Because if they've been talking about it and planning for a pandemic, and written all the documents and all of the emergency protocols and what we would need, you would have thought that they would have had all of the stuff like PPE, for example, prepared along with all of this planning. Yet they didn't. What are they doing? Genuinely. Because how can they have, the mathematics of it doesn't make sense to me. If they've got budget aside for it, for a potential future pandemic, if they've done it for so many years, if they've written all the protocols, if they've done it and had runs, you know, practice runs for emergency scenarios such as this, well then why has this happened then? Surely it, you know, a year ago or more longer than that now, but they've just gone, oh, I know, we've done this we've been practicing for this, we've been preparing for this for the last 10 years. Let's just go get the book that we wrote over the last 10 years to tell us what to do in this event, which is happening. And let's just follow the things that we said that we were going to do, no? And all of the preparations that we made or said we were making but didn't actually make. What are they doing? What are they doing? So yeah, I'm going to put in some links to, this is just for the UK crowd, police powers on stop and search and stuff, because there's a lot of videos that are coming out of where there's a guy at a petrol station and he didn't have a mask. And a police car pulled in. They didn't call the police over this. The police car just happened to be pulling into the petrol station at the same time. And these two policemen like pulled him over and were like, "Where's your exemption?" Right? So I was like, "Okay, calm down." So he gets out, he's printed off an exemption thing off the government website, but he's obviously had it for so long it's like folded up into his wallet. And they were having a go at him for having a folded up exemption certificate in his wallet. They were like, "That isn't acceptable. You need to have it like on a lanyard or on your dash." Or he's like, "What? I've still got the thing." Like, what? You're kind of picking on somebody for picking on somebody's sake. Like, what is going on? I saw some, where is it? I've got this, I could not believe my eyes. I've seen a few stories of children getting arrested. When I say children, there's one story here which was a 6-year-old being arrested at school, hands tied with those zip ties behind her back, put into a police car, taken away, arrested, a 6-year-old. What? Then there was a family. It was a mum and her children. Again, all girls, black family. The youngest was 6, and they got they were stopped originally. What the police said was because they thought it was a stolen car. And so the mum was trying to, they were demanding to see her license plate and driving, documents, which she was trying to get, but they refused to let her get. And so they put all of the kids and the mum face down on the floor, hands, including the 6-year-old, hands handcuffed behind their backs, had them like that. And this was in the car park of a shopping mall or a food supermarket or something, in the middle of this car park, face down like that for 2 hours in front of everybody. And then it ultimately transpired that obviously there was nothing wrong with the car. And they were literally these kids were screaming, they're crying their eyes out. And these like 4 white policemen were just standing over them. just staring at him. What is going on? There, I've got a load more of, and there's one where there's policemen's like right in this guy's face, like literally. Again, this is a whole videoing outside a police station, and it's on public property, which you're allowed to do. And they're like, you're not allowed to. They were telling him you're not allowed to video the same line that they're using it over here. That you're not allowed to video, and they're like, yeah, I am. I'm on public property. So you can't stop me from eating. I also don't have to give you my name, or I don't, you know, all of this. And they were saying, yeah, you do. Yeah, you just like, don't even know the law that you're supposed to be, you know, no, you should know, being a police officer. There is also, there's a thing as well, which the FBI have got called a use of force database, where every record of force should be recorded on this FBI database. And apparently out of the 10, they did a quick survey on 10 police stations. Only 2 police stations were using this. Because obviously if there's a centralized database where every use of force is recorded, and also other data to do with it in terms of you know, age, sex, race, etc. Because then if they have this centralized database, then it obviously then they can start to see which officers are using what force, where, and to who. Needless to say, hardly any police stations are using it though. There was only 2, because apparently at the moment it's by choice. You don't have to, but surely that should be like an automatic thing, that every use of force has to be logged on this database so it can be tracked. Because obviously then if it's tracked, there's certain people using force more often. You know what I mean? So it'd be easier to monitor the police's behaviour, but they don't want to do it. There's some outrageous ones as well, because I love the fact that people everyone's videoing now. It's great. It's awesome. There's this guy, I think it is in, where was it? I can't remember the name of the place now. You'll see. Watch these videos. They're so good. They'd left there. They were in a police car. I don't know how they've got this footage and how anything hasn't happened to these police, right? But they have got this body cam footage for when they're in a car outside of someone's house that they were watching, and they were genuinely having a discussion like, yeah, I'm just going to shoot that one, yeah? Like, you know, nothing's happened. And they were just having a conversation of just blasé, like, yeah, I'm going to kill that one. You can have the other one. They obviously just did not know that the thing was recorded. So there's that. What else have we got today? I've got, if you like science, anyone out there, and if you like the universe and the cosmos and the universal laws and the forces of nature, then get a load of this. There is a guy called Neil deGrasse Tyson. He is possibly the most charismatic scientist I think I've okay, I'm not going to say that because that's going to really hurt some people's feelings. All scientists are charismatic and geniuses, obviously, but he's really cool, and he is an astrophysicist, and he teaches obviously all about the universe and the constellations and physics and just all of that good stuff. And it's quite interesting what's happening scientifically right now, because obviously the technology that we've got is just advancing at an exponential rate, and we're just discovering a lot faster than we have ever before, not just in terms of ourselves, but the world around us. And they've just discovered a fifth. So there's 4 forces of nature. There's gravity, electromagnetism, and then there's the strong and weak forces. And they have just discovered a fifth force of nature. And it's all, you know, everything's made of the same stuff. We're all made of, not only are we as humans made of the same stuff, but, you know, if you looked under microscope at everything's cells with nucleus and an electron, a proton, neutron, etc. Yeah, but this is a muon. It's called a muon, and a muon is in a higher level of energy. So I'm going to put a link into that if you're interested in universal forces and science and astrophysics and stuff, because it is really interesting. What else we got? I don't really have, well, I mean, I have got a lot here. I'm just going to put all the links in. There's the only other thing was it. There's a few different things. I've got some things on law in America. Similar, you know, I said I've got the black belt barrister over here. There's a few people coming out who've got channels that give snippets of the law, and also where it's stories that are local over there for you guys. What else we got? There's nonsense going on still with Trump trying to have a what is it, 4th or 5th count in one of the states, and they were saying that even though they were told that they had to that it's an external company, but it's actually funded by one of obviously another private company that's a big donor or something, and they're supposed to obviously give exact details of what they're doing with these presidential votes, since it's quite important, but they don't want to give the court or the people the details of what they're doing with the votes. It all just seems a bit suspect. So I've got a link to that story as well. But it's Sunday now. I'm here drinking my decaf coffee. Yay! Rock and roll. So I think from today, I've got another few collections that I'm adding to my shop, which are all going to be 100% profit goes to. So I'm going to have one for Yemen, one for prisoner rehabilitation, and then one for all of the profits go to Operation Underground, which is the charity I was talking about yesterday, which help rescue children from human traffickers. And then I'm going to do another one, which is the other end, which is the catching of the human traffickers. And what is the charity called? Delta Fund, that's it. And that's made up of, obviously, investigators and analysts, sort of ex-CIA type bods. So I've decided I wanted to support that as well. So that's my mission for tomorrow. And I just hope that everyone's okay. Just remembering that it's been a tough old time. But if it's taught us anything, well, it's taught us a lot, I think, at this point. But I think really just how strong everyone is. It's still here. Even through all this dark time. And better days are coming. So just got to ignore the chaos, I think. And I've got there's another challenge actually, yeah. There's another, it's called Superconscious. Might just be Superconscious Challenge. Magnetic Mind. So that's a 5-day it's a free thing. And it's just learning about spirituality, about alchemy, about our consciousness, and ultimately our super consciousness, and how we all have the power within us to achieve whatever we want. It's just it's a mindset. It's a tapping into ourselves, into the power that we have within us. And that gives all the tools to be able to do that, basically, because I've done other webinars and stuff with him before. And again, he's I think there's other people on it as well, but he's a really nice guy. And it's not forcing you to do anything. It's just basically giving you the tools to be able to go and do it for yourself. Achieve whatever you want to achieve. Because ultimately, we all can. We can all, everyone's worthy, everyone's beautiful, everyone has, everyone has that. Everyone can have the life of their dreams and have abundance and be happy. It doesn't have to, the circumstances that you find yourselves in, wherever you are, that do not have to be your story. It is possible to change, it is possible to grow, it is possible to learn, it is possible to get out of difficult situations, difficult places, difficult environments, difficult friend groups, it is possible to, may not seem like it at the time, but it is. And this gives the tools to do that. So I hope everyone is good. And as always, sending virtual hugs, lots of love, positive vibes, vibrations, and just the kind of knowing that everything will be okay. Because it's great. Everyone's working together, but apart. So yay, go us, go team. Bestest team ever. Come on. So I will see you tomorrow for yet more nonsense. I've changed my name on the thing from Diary of an Angry Bird to Diary of a Euphoric Bird because I've made the change. So yay. Another day in the nut house done. Check, take it off the list. You know what's going to happen tomorrow? Who knows? That's what's so exciting. So, love you as always, and I'll see you tomorrow.